The village elder said Amara saved them. The spirit said she belonged to them. And Kofi said nothing at all. Years passed, and the village remained peaceful. No sickness spread beyond control. No war crossed its borders. No strange deaths visited their homes. But every peace has a price. At night, travelers began to whisper. They spoke of a woman made of soft light, standing on the hill just outside the village. Some said she warned them to turn back. Others said she guided them safely through the forest. And a few said something worse. They said if you followed her too closely, you would forget who you were and never return. The elders heard these stories. They nodded. They said nothing, because some truths are not meant to be spoken. And Amara was no longer human, but she was not fully spirit either. She was something in between, and the spirits were not finished with her. After the sacrifice, the morning after the ritual, the village woke in silence. No bird sang, no goats bleated. Even the wind seemed afraid to move. The ritual ground was empty. No blood, no ashes, no body. Only faint symbols pressed into the earth, slowly fading as the sun rose. The elders gathered beneath the great tree. They did not ask questions. They already knew the ritual had succeeded. The protection remained. But Kofi did not return to his hut. Days passed, then weeks, and still Kofi was not seen during the day. At night, villagers claimed they saw a tall shadow walking the village edge, watching, waiting. Kofi had failed. That was the truth the elders never spoke aloud. A guardian was meant to protect without attachment, without love, without hesitation. But Kofi had loved Amara, and love had weakened the boundary. The spirits judged him for this. They did not strip him of his power. That would have left the village vulnerable. Instead, they gave him a heavier punishment. They made him remember every night. He remembered Amara's voice, her fear, her final breath as light took her form. And every day when the sun rose, he forgot everything else. Kofi became a shadow that never rested, a guardian who could not sleep. 3 seasons after the ritual, something changed. A hunter from a nearby land entered the forest near the village. He did not return. Days later, his sandals were found near the old path. No blood, no struggle, only footprints that stopped suddenly, as if the earth had swallowed him. The elders grew uneasy. Protection did not mean perfection. Something was shifting. That night, the spirits gathered without calling the elders. This had never happened before. Amara watched everything. She could see the village, the forest, the roads beyond, but she could not touch them. Her body was light. Her voice was wind. She felt no hunger, no pain, but memory remained. She remembered being human, and that memory was her greatest suffering. The spirits told her this was balance. She would guide the lost, warn the foolish, protect the boundary. But Amara noticed something the spirits ignored. The boundary was weakening. One evening a child wandered toward the hill. He was no more than 6 seasons old. Unlike others, he did not fear the glowing figure. He looked directly at Amara. "You are sad," he said. Amara froze. No human had spoken to her since the ritual. "Go back," she whispered, though she was unsure if her voice carried. The child shook his head. "You are lonely." That was when Amara understood. Her presence was changing things. She was not meant to be seen. The spirits confronted her. They accused her of weakening the veil. "You are remembering too much," they said. "Memory is a human flaw." They warned her. If humans continued to see her, the balance would collapse. The village would suffer. Amara asked the question she had carried since the ritual. "Why me?" The spirits answered honestly for the first time. "Because she chose. Long before Amara, there were others, women, men, chosen anchors. The elders knew this, they had always known. Each generation, when protection weakened, a new anchor was prepared, a life slowly guided towards sacrifice. Amara was not chosen by chance. She was chosen by design. Kofi was never meant to marry freely. Their love was allowed to grow because love made the sacrifice stronger. This was the deepest betrayal. For the first time since becoming a spirit, Amara felt rage. Not at Kofi, not even at the spirits, but at the elders who hid behind tradition, who spoke of balance while feeding lives into silence. She confronted the spirits. This protection is built on lies. The spirits did not deny it. Balance, they said, is never kind. The spirits gave Amara one final truth. The protection would not last forever. The village was growing. Human greed was growing faster. Soon even anchors would fail. Amara could do one of two things: remain as she was, a temporary solution, or break the system forever. Breaking it would free future generations. But it would cost everything, including herself. The spirits allowed Amara to appear to Kofi one final time, not as light, but as memory. Kofi fell to his knees. "I am sorry," he said without knowing why. Amara touched his face. This time he felt it. "Leave," she told him, "and forget me." Tears fell from Kofi's eyes. At sunrise he collapsed, and when he woke, he was human again. That night Amara climbed higher than she ever had, beyond the spirits, beyond the boundary. She let go of memory, of anger, of self. The light that followed was not gentle, it was vast. The boundary shattered silently. No thunder, no screams, only release. The village still exists, but it is no longer protected. And strangely, it thrives. People guard each other now. They listen, they prepare. The elders no longer rule in silence. Kofi lives as a farmer. He feels something missing, but he does not know what. On some nights, travelers still speak of a soft light on distant hills, but it never comes close. It watches, free. Tradition without truths becomes cruelty, and protection that demands sacrifice will one day demand everything. If you were Amara, would you have broken the cycle? Tell me in the comments, and thank you for listening to the story.